What is up, everyone? This is Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with another movie review for today. And to continue on with this movie marathon week for this week, and to continue on with the rest of my reviews of the Jurassic Park series, of course, I'm here to talk to you guys about today the second installment of the series that was released back in 1997, and that is, of course, my review on The Lost World Jurassic Park. This was directed by Steven Spielberg once again, who made the original film, and stars Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm once again from the first movie. And this one has pretty familiar faces in this film, such as Julianne Moore, Vince Vaughan, Pete Postlethwaite, rest in peace, and a whole bunch of other talented people. And so in this second installment of Jurassic Park, this is set 4 years after the original film, where we see John Hammond, once again played by Richard Attenborough, who he sent a team which is led by Ian Malcolm, once again played by Jeff Goldblum, which consists of him, his girlfriend Sarah, played by Julianne Moore, this guy named Nick, played by Vince Vaughn, this guy named Eddie, played by Richard Skiff, and Ian's long lost daughter named Kelly, played by Vanessa Lee Chester. And basically what happens is and basically we see them, they travel to this island which is set in Isla Sorona, which this is the second island where Hammond's company, known as InGen, they used to make the dinosaurs, and basically they're called there to basically study the animals while they're trying to conflict. They're coming into conflict with this team, which is led by the InGen, which is led by this man named Roland, played by Pete Postlethwaite, which him and his team, they're trying to bring back all the dinosaurs to the United States. And so we see Ian and his team, they're trying to stop that from happening, as well as trying to, survive and hopefully escape the wildest jungle full of dinosaurs that have been roaming free through these jungles. So that's pretty much the story of The Lost World Jurassic Park. And for this one, I never really saw this one as well when I was a kid, alongside the first movie, or Jurassic Park 3. I never really watched the original Jurassic Park movies before when I was young, but I did, like I said, I was introduced to this whole series back in 2014 after I was introduced to Steven Spielberg when I first saw Jaws and all that. And like I said, I did get the box set for Christmas, which I got here. So let me get out the second film. So here it is The Lost World. And I did watch this couple years ago when I did get this box set, and when I first saw the original film. And I have since rewatched it in recent years, and I even rewatched this today in preparation for Jurassic World Dominion. And after rewatching it in recent years, and even just rewatching it today, I hear a lot of mixed reactions for this film. A lot of people do tend to have different opinions on this film. A few people either like this movie or hate this movie, or just in the middle of it. But after rewatching this film today, I personally thought this movie was good. But it's definitely not a great film. It's definitely not the best in the Jurassic Park series, but I still enjoyed the film for what it was. But there are flaws with the film, we'll get into them later on. But the few things I did like in this film were the CGI in the film, like the CGI effects and the animatronic effects for the dinosaurs. They still are great, just like they were the first time around in the first movie. Still are great to look at the dinosaurs again. And the direction by Steven Spielberg was great, just like in the first movie, for the moments outside of the action in this film, which I thought were great. And for the action sequences in the film were pretty tense, actually, but they were kind of cool. Like the trailer that's dangling off the cliff with the baby T-Rex and the T-Rex and all that. I thought that was pretty cool, that scene. And pretty suspenseful as well. And there's a pretty suspenseful scene when you see the raptors in the long grass, where you see these men who are in patrol in the long grass. I thought that was really suspenseful, and it was directed really well for that scene. And also the scene when we see the T-Rex in San Diego, I thought that was pretty awesome. And people have already said that what was the best shot in the film. Best shot in the film, when we do see in the first opening, after we see the girl who gets eaten by these little dinosaurs, and the woman screams in shock after what she saw, and it cuts to Jeff Goldblum in the subway, where we think he's on an island, but he's in the subway station, and he yawns, and then you can hear the scream turn into the train on the rails and all that. I thought that was a great shot, and Steven Spielberg, he did a great job, man. As for the acting in the film, Jeff Goldblum is still fun and likable like he was in the original film, for being, a fun, charming character. And he is definitely one of my favorite human characters when it comes to the Jurassic Park series. And Richard Attenborough, although he's not in the movie that much, he is pretty good in the movie as John Hammond. And for the new people in this film, like Julianne Moore, Vince Vaughn, Pete Postlethwaite, and Vanessa Lee Chester. I thought they were pretty solid for their characters. Julianne Moore was pretty solid as Sarah, as well as Vince Vaughn as Nick. And for Pete Postlethwaite, he plays the antagonist in the film, named Roland. He was pretty solid as this evil antagonist who just wants to capture all the dinosaurs with his team. He's pretty solid as sort of like this villainous character. And for Pete Postlethwaite, may he rest in peace, because he was a pretty good actor. And for Vanessa Lee Chester, who plays Ian's estranged daughter, Kelly, she was pretty solid in the film, and she wasn't too bad for the most part. And she didn't get on my nerves or anything in this film. But I wouldn't say for these new characters in the film, I wouldn't say they're not as memorable like in the original film, because in the original film, those characters are memorable. But here, I wouldn't say they're as memorable, because the only memorable one I know is just mostly Ian Malcolm, who's played by Jeff Goldblum. But the issues I do have with this film, the writing in this film kind of lacked a bit, really, because, well, the original writing for the original film is timeless, and it's a classic. But here, I kind of felt it kind of lacked off from the original film. It just kind of lacked a bit of what the original film was like. And the character development, I just thought were pretty weak for some of the new characters in the film, because again, I couldn't remember much about these characters, and they weren't that memorable enough in this film. And there were some scenes that kind of felt out of place, like the gymnastics scene, which a lot of people would have a lot of complaints with that. It is ridiculous. When I first watched it, I wasn't angry. I was just like, huh? But since I rewatched this today, I wasn't like mad or anything when I saw it again. I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, and that scene, it is pretty ridiculous, really. But in the end, guys, The Lost World Jurassic Park, it's definitely not a bad film. It's pretty much a divisive film, really, when it comes to this one, because again, a lot of people have different opinions on this one. But personally, I thought it was good, but it's not a great film. There's definitely a few things I enjoyed of it. Well, I do have some issues with it, like some people do. But if you are a fan of this series, and if you absolutely love the first film and you're willing to continue on with this one, I would obviously suggest continue on with this one, because again, I think this one is good, but it's definitely not great. But you have to make your own choice of when it comes to this one, because again, this one does get a lot of mixed reactions from people. So that's pretty much all I have to say about The Lost World Jurassic Park. And I'm going to give The Lost World Jurassic Park 3.5 out of 5. Solid rating for this one. Again, this one, I would consider this one to be the most divisive one in the franchise, since I hear a lot of different people. I hear a lot of different views for this one from a few people, a few of my friends, including a few of my friends. Some of my friends either like this one or hate this one, or just they're in the middle of this one. But personally, like I said, it's good, but it's definitely not great. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my movie review on The Lost World Jurassic Park, and let me know what you think of this one. If you've seen this before, do you personally like this one, or you're not a fan of this one? Or you're just divisive with this one. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews. Stay tuned for my review of Jurassic Park 3. I'll do that one tomorrow after I rewatch it tomorrow. And as always, this has been Vaughan's Media Corner signing off.